In the previous video, we learned something very important. Every PLC program is built on variables. We learned how data is stored in memory, how different data types work, and why choosing the right data type is critical for reliable automation. But now a question naturally arises. If variables are just containers that store information, how does a PLC actually use that information to make decisions? After all, knowing that a start button is pressed doesn't automatically start a motor. Knowing that a temperature is 85 degrees doesn't automatically switch on a cooling fan. Knowing that a tank is full doesn't automatically stop a pump. Something has to look at those values, analyze them, and decide what action to take. And that something is logic. That's what we are going to learn in this video. The very basics of writing a logic with conditions. Welcome back to Mr. Smart. Let's start learning. Today we're going to write our first real structured text logic. And to do that, we're finally going to step into the programming section of a structured text program. Now if you open a program in CODESYS or TwinCAT, you'll usually see two distinct areas. The first area is the declaration section. This is where variables are created. The second area is the implementation section. This is where the PLC is told what to do with those variables. Think of it like building a movie. The declaration section introduces the characters. The implementation section tells the story. Without characters, there is no story. Without a story, the characters do nothing. Both are equally important. Let's look at a simple example. Suppose we have a start button and a motor. First, we declare them. We tell the PLC, I have a variable called start button. I have another variable called motor running. At this point, nothing happens. The PLC knows these variables exist, but it still doesn't know how they're related. This is where the implementation section comes in. Now we write our first line of logic. Motor running equals start button. Have you noticed the syntax used when assigning a value to a variable? The syntax are very important in programming, and throughout our journey, you will get familiar with where to use them. And just like that, we've created a relationship. Whenever start button becomes true, motor running becomes true. Whenever start button becomes false, motor running becomes false. The PLC is no longer just storing information. It's doing something with it. But real machines are rarely this simple. In the real world, machines make decisions. And that's where one of the most important concepts in structured text comes into play. Conditions. Imagine you're driving a car. You don't continuously press the brake. You only brake if there's a reason. If the signal turns red. If a vehicle appears in front of you. If an obstacle enters your path. Human beings constantly make decisions based on conditions. PLCs do exactly the same thing. And the most common decision-making instruction in structured text is if. Let's say we want a motor to run only when the start button is pressed. Now we can write if start button, then motor running equals true, and end the if condition with end if. The logic is almost like reading plain English. If start button is true, then turn the motor on. Simple. Easy to understand. Now let's think about something. What happens when the button is not pressed? Right now, nothing in our program tells the motor to turn off. The PLC only knows what to do when the condition becomes true. It doesn't know what to do when the condition becomes false. This is where else comes in. An else instruction in if condition tells the PLC what to do when if condition is false. Now the logic becomes, if start button, then motor running equals true, else motor running equals false, and ends with end if. Now we have two possible outcomes. If the button is pressed, the motor starts. Otherwise, the motor stops. The PLC now has a complete decision. But industrial machines often require more than two possibilities. Imagine a machine with both a start button and a stop button. Now we have multiple conditions to evaluate. This is where ELSIF becomes useful. An ELSIF evaluates another condition when the if condition fails. For example, now the same code becomes, if start button, then motor running equals true. ELSIF, stop button, then motor running equals false. Else, motor running equals motor running. And finally end with, and if. Now let's follow the PLC's thought process. First, it checks start button. If start button is true, the motor starts immediately. The PLC ignores everything below. But if start button is false, the PLC moves down and checks stop button. If stop button is true, the motor stops. If neither condition is true, the PLC executes the else section. This introduces another important rule of structured text. Conditions are evaluated from top to bottom. The PLC doesn't search for the best condition. It simply checks them one by one. The first condition that becomes true wins. And this is exactly why the order of your conditions matters. A poorly ordered if structure can completely change machine behavior. This is one of the most common mistakes beginners make. They focus on the condition itself, but forget that the PLC reads conditions sequentially. It only follows the instructions exactly as you write them, not as you intended them, as you wrote them. And that's why learning if else and ELSIF properly is so important. Now, before we move on, there's one more thing you should know. As machines become more complex, a single if condition is often not enough. In real industrial applications, decisions are rarely based on just one input. A motor may need a start command, but it may also require safety conditions to be satisfied. The emergency stop must be healthy. The safety door must be closed. There must be no active alarm, and only then should the motor start. This is where nested if structures become useful. A nested if simply means placing one if statement inside another if statement. Let's look at a simple example. Suppose we want the motor to start only when the start button is pressed. But before starting, we also want to verify that the safety door is closed. The logic might look like this. If start button, then it passes to next if condition, that is, if safety door, then motor running equals true. Else, motor running equals false. And now we need to add two end if. As one end if closes the inner condition and another closes outer condition. Now let's follow the PLC's thought process. First, it checks the start button. If the start button is not pressed, the PLC skips everything. But if the start button is pressed, the PLC enters the nested if block. Now it asks a second question. Is the safety door closed? If the answer is yes, the motor starts. If the answer is no, the motor remains stopped. This allows us to build decisions inside decisions, just like a human operator would. Imagine a machine operator thinking, if the start button is pressed, then check if the safety door is closed. If it is, start the motor. Otherwise, don't. That's exactly what the PLC is doing. Now let's make it slightly more intelligent. Suppose the machine can have multiple states. Then we can write the same code with multiple states notifying personals. The code looks like if start button, then. We can add a nested if to check machine state as if alarm state, then machine message equals cannot start alarm active. ELSIF safety door closed, then motor running equals true. Else machine message equals close safety door. Now we have an if statement inside another if statement, and inside that nested if we also have an ELSIF and an else. This is very common in industrial automation. The PLC first checks whether somebody is requesting a start. Then it evaluates additional conditions one by one. And based on the situation, it decides what action to take. As you can see, structured text allows us to create decision trees that can become extremely powerful. But there is also a warning. Just because you can create deeply nested if statements doesn't mean you should. Beginners often create logic that looks like this. Technically this works. But imagine troubleshooting this at 2 o'clock in the morning during a production breakdown. Not very fun. That's why experienced automation engineers try to keep nesting as simple and readable as possible. A good structured text program should not only work correctly. It should also be easy to understand by the next engineer who opens it. Remember this rule. Machines execute code once. Engineers read code for years. Always write for both. And don't worry if nested conditions feel confusing right now. As we move into Boolean logic, and, or, and not in the next video, you'll discover that many nested if structures can actually be simplified into much cleaner and easier to read logic. And that's exactly what we'll explore in the next video. Until then, keep learning, keep building, and keep getting smarter with structured text. I'll see you in the next one.